Hi, Verbling. My name is Michaela. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, and today we're talking about heteronyms and vowel sounds. If any of you guys want updates on my classes coming up this week, or just want to say hi or have a suggestion, you can message me on Facebook, and I'll put my Facebook name in the chat box for you. And if you'd like to schedule a tutoring session, go ahead and let me know on my Verbling message box. Harry, welcome to class.
Hi, hello. Hi.
How are you? Good morning, or good afternoon, maybe.
Yeah, good afternoon. It's 1 p.m. here.
Excellent. Then good afternoon. Harry, tell me one fun thing you have planned for this week.
One fun thing.
Yes.
I try that all things are fun, which I can do. Yeah, like studying English here. It is a lot of fun for me.
Excellent.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Awesome. So, studying, fun.
Yeah.
Great. And Jesus, welcome to class.
Hi, teacher. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Well, I'm fine.
So, tell us one fun thing you have planned for this week.
For this week, I love playing golf, so I will train a lot because I love to play.
Very nice. And Rafael, welcome to class.
Hi.
Morning. So tell us one fun thing you have planned this week.
I'm not so sure if I have already planned something fun, but
Oh no.
I can say that I'm going to work as a photographer during the weekend, next weekend, and I think it's fun for me
What will you
because
be
I like it.
photographing?
Yes, it's my second job.
Cool. So what will you be photographing this weekend?
Brides, when they are
Oh,
preparing
cool.
to get married at the
Very
salon.
nice. All right. Anna, welcome to class.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you, Anna?
I'm fine, thank you.
So Anna, share with us one fun thing you have planned this week.
I don't know, only tomorrow I'm going to go to a concert in Barcelona.
Ooh, that's fun. What
Yeah.
kind of concert? What music?
Uh, uh, in the rock, pop, I don't know. It's a girl that plays the guitar and and this.
Awesome. Well, sounds like fun.
Yeah.
And I put the notes. We're going to start with a warm-up exercise about vowels. I put that in the chat box for you, and I'm going to screen share as well. And we're starting here today, but we're going to be talking a lot about some of the irregularities of spelling and pronunciation in English. So we're starting with some irregular words. Pick out the word that is different from the rest. And then we're going to move on to a few other categories of words that have some unique characteristics. So, Rafael, can you read number one, all four words, and try to tell us which word sounds different than the other three?
Okay. No, go, do, and so. Oh, the third one, do.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks. Harry, will you do number two?
Var, car, bar, far.
So, which one is different there?
Car.
Nope, not quite.
Huh.
I'll pronounce them for you once. We have war, car, bar, far.
The first one.
Yeah,
Word.
the first
Word.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a little strange, but that one's very irregular in its vowel sound. Thank you, Harry. Jesus, will you do number 3?
Yeah. Clown, town, frown, down. Mm, I think it could be frown.
Yeah, we have clown, town, flown, and down. So flown is definitely the oddball out. Thank you. Anna, do number 4.
Foot, good, book, foot. I don't know.
Can anyone help her out? Which is the irregular sounding one?
I'm not sure, but I think it's book.
It's not quite book, actually. That's why these are tough, because they all are spelled the same with the same vowels. And so it gets your brain into thinking that they all must sound the same. But I'll pronounce them for you one time and see if you guys can guess which is the oddball out. We have food, good, book, foot. Food, good, book, foot.
The first one?
Exactly. The first one is kind of a longer ooh sound. Instead, the other ones are shorter like good, book, not food. But these are tricky. Let's go on to number 5. And Rafael, we're back to you.
Okay, I confess that I'm not sure about the pronunciation of the first one, but I'll try. I think it's cough,
Yeah,
tough,
excellent.
and then rough, tough, and enough. So it's in the first one.
And these ones are kind of funny already because they have that OUGH, which sometimes is pronounced like an F, and sometimes it's pronounced like a vowel, sometimes it's silent. It's really crazy. But you're right, we have cough, like an ah sound, and then rough, tough, and enough. Good job. Harry, number 6.
Number 6. Fork, work, stork, and cork. I would say the second one, work.
Excellent job. Yes. So we've got fork, work, stork,
Work.
and cork. So that second one is definitely different. Thanks, Harry. Jesus, number 7.
Does, goes, pose, toes. So the first one, does.
Thank you. Number 8, Anna.
There, beer, where, beer. The where?
Not exactly. I'm going to pronounce them for you once, and then we'll decide again. We have deer, bear, where, pear.
The first.
Yep, the first one. Okay. Number 9, back to Rafael.
Rain, train, again, pain, again.
Definitely irregular. Number 10, Harry.
Plays, says, days, stays, says. Second
Thank
one.
you very much. 11, Jesus.
Sew, new, feel, new. So it's sew.
Definitely the first one. Thank you. Anna, number 12.
No, low, now, so. Now.
Now. Thank you. Number 13, Rafael.
5, give, dive, and hive. The second one, give.
Thank you very much. Number 14, Harry.
Rose, nose, pose, and lose. The last one, lose.
Yeah, that one is funny. Even native speakers sometimes misspell that one because it's really unexpected that we pronounce it that way. Number 15, Jesus.
Sweat, heat, meat, and eat. Sweat.
Sweat. Thank you very much. And Anna, go for the next one.
Brave, have, save, gave, have.
Thank you. And the very last one, Rafael.
Phone, bone, gone, con. I don't know. I have no idea.
Does anybody else have a good guess as to which one is the different one?
The third one,
Yeah, it's the third
gun,
one. Can you pronounce those for us, Harry? All four of
gun,
them?
gun.
Yeah. So we have phone, bone, gone, and cone. Okay, so those are just a small example of some of the irregular pronunciation in English, and some of them are pretty difficult, but you guys did really well. So having looked at that, how does it make you feel about English spelling and pronunciation? Anna, can you tell us?
Yes, it's difficult.
Very difficult, yeah.
Yeah. I think some some of these words, I think that I pronounce very very bad.
It's difficult because there's a trick. When you see the spelling, it makes you want to pronounce the letters on the page. And unfortunately, that doesn't always work in English. You have to know the pronunciation. You can't really read the pronunciation always. So it's tricky. All right, Harry, how are you feeling about English spelling just at this moment?
For me, it's very important. I noticed that they become closer, more familiar. How can I say? More confident. I've come closer to the language itself. And in this lection, I learned that I have to listen to people very often, so I can, for example, gun. So we hear it every day in their conversations, and when I listen to these words, I can see it in the line, and I say, it's gun. I know how I pronounce it, and when I read the line, like I did, I see the word which is has another spelling.
Exactly. Awesome.
It gives me ideas how I can learn more. Yeah.
Yeah, these kinds of exercises go a long way to help us get a little more comfortable and then just to realize that it takes a lot of attention, a lot of special attention to spelling and pronunciation in order to avoid making mistakes. Totally. Jesus, how are you feeling right now about these diverse spellings of different sounds?
It's hard for me, but because many words doesn't have rules predefined. They are spelled so random.
Yeah.
Without that rules, at least I don't know how to spell it correctly.
Yeah, there's very few consistent rules about spelling and pronunciation. And even the rules, there are exceptions and irregularities, so it's tough. And Rafael, how are you feeling about spelling and pronunciation in English?
Okay, I don't want to sound repetitive because I totally agree with Harry. And I really like to listen to English and speak English, but I don't like this part because when we are trying to learn a second language, I like Portuguese more because when we are reading in Portuguese, we have some rules, and we need you know how to speak Portuguese, so it is easier to read because we have a lot of rules. And when it comes to English, we need to keep listening and listening and listening more. And I like it somehow, but I prefer when we have rules to to pronunciate words, to pronounce,
Yeah,
sorry.
rules can be really helpful, and unfortunately, that's not something that works very well in English. There's so many irregularities. You're right, that it's difficult to always, you have to always be vigilant to listen for those irregularities and stuff. It's tough. Okay, so that was just our warm up to kind of introduce weird vowels and pronunciations. Now we're going to go over a list of words called heteronyms. Does anybody already know what a heteronym is?
Yes,
What is it?
they have the same spelling but another meaning, a different meaning.
Yes, exactly. So Harry, go ahead and read the definition for us. It's the first section on the page of notes we have underneath heteronyms.
A heteronym is a word having a different pronunciation and meaning as another word, but the same spelling. Sometimes the stress is on a different syllable, and sometimes the stress remains the same, but only the pronunciation of the vowel changes.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about these, and if we have time, we might even go over their opposite. The first set of sentences, Anna, will you read these for us?
Yes. You will find fruits and vegetables in the produce section. Many factories produce too much pollution. Produce. I don't know.
So what do you guys think? This is a hard section, and if you don't know the difference between the words, that's what we'll be talking mostly about. But does anybody already know what's different about these two words in pronunciation? I'll say the words once for you and then see if you guys can guess it. You will find fruits and vegetables in the produce section. Many factories produce too much pollution.
I noticed that the first one you said produce, and the second one produce.
Exactly. So the stress changes between the adjective and the verb. And that's common. You see this pretty commonly when you have a word spelled the same, one is a verb and one is an adjective. Usually the stress will make that jump. Of course, it's not a really consistent rule. Sometimes it happens different ways, but that's a general pattern you frequently see. So can we define the first one? What is produce? How about Jesus? What is produce?
Well, in that sentence, I think it refers to the section where that products are available, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't know.
Mm-hmm. So in here we're talking about fresh fruits and vegetables, and produce is generally talking about exactly that, fresh fruits and vegetables, food grown on a farm. And how about produce? Very different meaning here. What does produce mean?
Produce is when something is growing due to, in this example, for example, the pollution is due to the factories. What they,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's being made. It's being made by someone, in this case, the factories. All right. So the next set, Jesus, go ahead and read the next two sentences for us.
He was a famous Polish actor in the 1960s. We need to polish all of the furniture and silverware.
All right. Rafael, do you know the difference between these two words in pronunciation?
Okay, I'm so sorry, but I am kind of lost because there were people here talking to me because I'm at work, and
Oh, no problem. I'll come back to you for the next one. And Harry, go ahead and tell us if you know the difference between these two words in pronunciation.
I know the difference in the meaning.
Okay, give us that then. Tell us about that.
The first one tells uh, where the actor comes from,
Mm-hmm.
where the actor is coming from which
Which country would that be?
country, yes. And the second one, to polish, you can polish your car to make it shiny.
Mm-hmm.
Your
Excellent.
mirror, you can polish your mirror in your bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Your
Definitely.
nails, you can polish your nails as a girl.
Yeah, that's true too. All right, so we know the difference in definition. Does anybody know the difference between the pronunciation? I'm going to say the sentences once, and then maybe you guys will have a better chance at getting this. He was a famous Polish actor in the 1960s. We need to polish all of the furniture and silverware. So we have Polish and polish. What changes? Nobody?
Can you repeat another time, please?
Yes, and this time I will also show you my mouth as I say the words. So as I say the words, watch my lips and see if you can see the difference between these two words. The first sentence, he was a famous Polish actor in the 1960s. And the second one, we need to polish all of the furniture and silverware. We have Polish and polish. Polish, polish.
I think it's the sound of the O's of the vowel O
Mm-hmm.
from
Mm-hmm.
O to A.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't want to make it too easy for you, so I didn't slow them down. But you got it right. That O sound changes, and you can tell by the shape of my mouth. When I say Polish, my mouth becomes kind of a small O. And when I say polish, my mouth is much more open. So that one's tricky. It doesn't follow the same rules we saw earlier, which is that the stress changes. In this case, the vowel sound changes. All right. So in the next one, let's have Rafael. Are you ready to read one for us? Okay, maybe he is busy right now. How about Anna? Hello? Can you guys hear me? Harry, are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Can you read these next two sentences for us and do your best with the pronunciation?
Okay, I will try it. The boy received a present from his grandmother. We are going to present our idea at the meeting.
Excellent. That was great pronunciation. So, does anybody know what the difference in pronunciation is between these two words? So we have the boy received a present from his grandmother, and we're going to present our idea at the meeting.
In the first one, I had a sharp S, and in the second one, I had a soft S. I pronounce it softly.
Okay, there might be a slight difference between the S sounds, but there's something a little bit more, a bigger change that goes on between those words. We have present and present. So it kind of follows the rule that we talked about on the first set of sentences. Does anybody remember what we talked about? So our first set, we have produce and produce. So produce, the stress is on the first syllable, and produce, the stress is on the second syllable. And if you look at this pair, we have present, first syllable, and present, second syllable. So that change follows the same pattern that we talked about in the first one. So the same word, but because it changes from a noun to a verb or verb to a noun, the stress changes a little bit. Okay, now let's talk about the definition difference. There's a pretty big definition difference. What's the definition of the first word? Let's see. Jesus, give us the definition of the first word, a present.
A present is something you give to a person for something, or just because you like him, or you know.
Yeah, exactly. A synonym here would be gift. A good synonym. And what about the second one, Jesus? Present. Can you define that one for us?
Yeah, is to make a exposure or of something or to a group of people.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. All right. The next, oh, actually, we skipped a set of sentences. Rafael, are you there? It seems like he's still busy. Anna, are you back?
Yes, I'm here.
Awesome. Anna, will you read the set of sentences I'm highlighting right now?
Yes, it's very dangerous to use lead paint. The cowboys led the cattle to the ranch.
So, I'm going to say these sentences one more time to really enforce that difference. It's very dangerous to use lead paint, and the cowboys lead the cattle to the ranch. So we've got lead and lead. What's the difference there?
In the first sentence, the sound is led with E, and in the second one, lead with an I.
Exactly. So the second one is more traditional for English. That EA usually makes like a long E sound, lead the cattle to the ranch. And the first one is very irregular, led, even though it's pronounced with an, or it's spelled with a EA. So the first one is a substance, a dangerous substance that used to be used in pencils, and it's kind of a blackish material. Does everyone know what I'm talking about? I could also pull up a picture. Let's pull up a picture just in case. Let's see. And what about the second one, lead? What's a good definition for that?
Is to get someone.
Like to bring someone somewhere, or kind of like if there's a person in front of you with authority, they lead. And then here is the picture for lead. This is a good picture of it. It used to be used in pencils, so I can also pull that up. So it used to be this part, but now they don't use it anymore because it's very poisonous, and that's obviously not a good thing. All right. So the next set of sentences, Rafael, are you still not here?
I'm here.
Oh.
Sorry.
Great. Wonderful. So can you read the next set of sentences for us? I'll highlight them for you.
Okay. This TV show is always broadcast live. And where do kangaroos and koalas live?
Awesome pronunciation on those. So Rafael, explain to us the difference in pronunciation between the first and the second word.
Okay. It's plain to see that the first one is adjective and the second one is verb because it's written. But what I can say is live as adjective, it means that something is happening right now. And live is a verb. How can I explain the verb to live? It's so hard to explain things in English sometimes because we know the meaning, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Like something like to exist.
Yes.
And what about the vowel sound? What changes between the first vowel sound and the second vowel sound?
Yes, I think it's the most difficult part, the I sound in English, because you never know when pronoun live and live. Yes, the first one live, so we have an I sound, and the second one E, live.
Yeah, we have very different vowel pronunciation in those. Difficult. All right. Next set of sentences. Jesus, go ahead and read the next set for us.
A dove is a white bird that symbolizes peace. The swimmers dove into the pool several times.
Thank you very much. So can anyone tell us the difference between these, pronunciation or definition? Let's start with the second one. So we have the swimmers dove into the pool several times. This is the past tense of a verb. Does anyone know which verb it is the past tense of?
Dive?
Yeah, exactly. It's the past tense of dive. So that in itself is pretty irregular. Instead of putting an ED on it, we change the I to an O. Totally crazy. And what about the first one? A dove. That one is actually already defined for us, right? A dove is a white bird. So the difference between the pronunciation dove and dove, what is it? So we have dove, and dove, O. The vowel sound changes a little bit. The first one is kind of just letting your mouth hang open and you let air come out, dove, But the second one, you kind of make your mouth into a small O shape at the end. Dove, dove. All right. The next set, Harry, go ahead and read it for us.
The treasure hunter discovered a valuable object in the dump. Lawyers often object the question during a trial.
Yes, awesome. So what's the pronunciation difference here? Does anybody know? It's one we've kind of gone over before. We've got, go ahead.
Object and object.
Yes, exactly. Object, object. So what's the difference between those two? How do you change your pronunciation? If you were explaining how to pronounce them to a person, what would you say?
And the first one has the stress on the first syllable, and the second one on the second syllable.
Excellent, yes. And this follows the pattern that we've talked about twice before, where it changes from noun to verb, or like in the first one we saw, adjective to verb. The stress changes. Thank you very much. And do you guys have questions on the definitions? The first one is probably pretty straightforward, but what about the second one? Lawyers object. Give us a definition for that.
Is it like the target? The
The first one is kind of like a target. An object could be a target. But object is a little bit different. The second one, the verb form, is a little bit different than that. Can anyone give us a definition for that second one? No? Is it, well, so object is like something negative. Like if I don't like something, I might object to it, meaning that I'm voicing a negative opinion. The lawyers object to the questioning during a trial. Means that they don't really like that and they're voicing their opinion, their negative opinion against the questioning during a trial.
Is it like disagreeing with something?
Yes, it is much like disagreeing. Definitely. All right. Next set, Anna, go ahead and read.
What was your favorite subject in school? Math, science, history? New drugs are subject to many tests before they are approved.
Awesome. So we have subject and subject.
Yes, the stress syllable is different. In the first sentence is subject, and the second one, subject.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And we only have a few more here. The next set, Jesus, can you read?
They had been lost in the desert for almost a week. The soldier decided to desert the army one day.
All right, so what's the difference here, Jesus? We have, you pronounce them well, we have desert and dessert.
It's like before, the stress syllable changes. The first one is in the first syllable, and the second one is in the second syllable.
Exactly. Awesome. And what's the definition for the second one? Can anyone give us a good definition for desert the army? A good synonym would be like abandon, to abandon the army. And of course, the first one is dry location, like where I'm from in Arizona. It's a desert. And there's also one more word that is related to this set here. And it's pronounced dirt, but it has two S's in it. So it's pronounced the same as the verb, but it has two S's. And it means something totally different. Does anybody know what dessert means when it's got two S's? So what is it?
I love sugar because it's not a meal, but it's what we eat after having breakfast or dinner, like cake or ice cream.
Yes, some kind of sweet thing after a meal. Excellent. I'm a big fan of dessert myself. All right. The next two are are really common mistakes. So I'm excited to go over this one because it's really common to make errors here. And I think, let's see, Harry, did you read the last one or are you reading this one?
She's very close to finishing her essay for lecture class.
Literature class.
Literature class. For literature class,
Excellent.
please close the door and windows when you leave.
Okay, I'm excited about this one because this one usually comes as a surprise to students. But the first one, we have, she is very close to finishing her essay. And the second one, please close the door. So she's close to finishing her essay, and please close the door.
I think the pronunciation is the same. Am I right?
Well, the vowel sound the vowel sound is the same, and most of the words we've been going over, it has been changing in stress or changing in vowel sound. And both of those things are the same in this word. But there is one small detail that is different here. So the vowel sound, go ahead.
The L in the second one, you speak the L shorter.
Okay, the L might be a little shorter. And why would that be? So she's close to finishing her essay and close the door. So the L might sound a little shorter. Why? I'll do it one more time. I'm going to pronounce the words back to back. Close, 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 close. It's a difference that Harry mentioned in one of the other words, but it's a little more pronounced here. So close
and
has close.
A softer S in the second one.
Exactly. So the first one would be a voiceless S sound. That would be the standard S sound. So it's like a snake. Very quiet. And the second one has voice. So if you were to put your hand over your throat and pronounce just this S, Z, it sounds like a Z. We have close to finishing and close the door. And this is a super common mistake to make because they are spelled exactly the same and they sound really, really similar, but they are not. They're a little bit different. And it's a good one to remember. It really helps improve your accent because if you say, please close the door, it's a little bit strange sounding. And of course, if you say, she's very close to finishing her essay, again, it could cause a little confusion with what you're actually trying to say. So it's a good one to remember. All right, the next set, I totally forget where we are or who's supposed to be reading, but I think it's Anna's turn.
Me?
I think so.
Are you going to read the sports section of the newspaper? I've already read this book 3 times.
Thank you very much. So this one's common. What's the difference here between pronunciation?
On the first word, read with an E. No.
A long E sound, yeah.
Yes, and the second one, read with an E.
Yeah.
Is the
awesome.
past perfect?
Exactly. This would be the past perfect. So the participle and the simple past of the verb read is pronounced read, even though it is spelled the same. One of the silliest things that exists, I think, in English. I don't know why it's here, but it is. Okay. Next set, Rafael. Read him for us.
Okay. The little girl wore a pretty pink ball in her hair. And the second one, the dancers always bow after their performances.
Wonderful pronunciation. Does anyone know the definitions for these words?
The first one is a noun, and it's something that we have, I think, in the kitchen. And the second one is an action when we show that we liked a performance and I don't know how to describe this action, but
Yeah, you're right. So, well, I think you're right.
it's something that we say, oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah, and you bend at the waist. Is this what you're talking about? So,
Yes.
yeah, you bend at the waist and kind of bend over with your head facing the ground, and that would be a bow. But the first one, I'm not really sure if we're talking about the same thing. So, a pretty pink bow. You said it was in the kitchen?
Yes, I think I'm wrong.
Describe what you're talking about, and then we'll clear this up.
Okay, it's something that we use to put things inside, and then
Oh, a bowl, maybe? Are you talking about a
uh,
bowl? Something you eat soup out of?
no, I
No?
don't know. Forget it.
All right. Well, bow, as in a pretty pink bow, is usually a small decoration. Sometimes you'll see a bow on a gift as well. And it's a type of knot, but it's fancy. And let's come up with a picture.
You have it on your shoes. We can also have bows to close the shoe.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Bows.
Yeah, there we go. Bow. Okay. So we have just one sentence left, or one set of sentences left, and it is Jesus' turn to read.
She must have been sad because also a tear on her cheek. Be careful not to accidentally tear the paper.
Awesome. So what's the difference in pronunciation here? Anyone? I saw a tear on her cheek, and don't accidentally tear the paper.
No, now that you said it's easy because second one is tear with an E sound, and the first one is with a E sound.
Yeah, exactly. So what's the difference in meaning then? How about the first one for tear? What is a tear?
It's something that appears in your face when you cry.
Mm-hmm. And what about tear? Tear the paper.
To destroy or break the paper.
Uh-huh. And a good synonym would be rip. That would be a good synonym. All right. Do you guys have any questions on this? On any of the sentences we read, or anything related to pronunciation and spelling in English?
No, it just made me see that it's so hard to explain things in English.
Yeah.
But it was very helpful.
Yeah, it is really difficult. And sometimes I recommend that if you know anyone who's also studying English, like maybe a niece, nephew, or a child, sometimes it's good to help them learn by explaining things. Because when you have to explain something, you learn it on a deeper level. It's really tough to explain, but once you've explained something to another person, then it's a little more solid in your own head. So I learned a lot about English when I became a teacher, and if you guys have the opportunity, teaching someone else about these words and things and using the vocabulary to talk about that really is helpful. All right, so no questions. Excellent. Then I have one other list for you. It's a link. and it's different than the last set. And you guys, I'll let you guys guess what the difference is. Oh, Rafael, I'm sorry, I skipped you. Okay, so the last set we were talking about are words that are spelled the same but pronounced differently. So let's see about this list. What's the defining quality here in this list? You have to kind of scroll down for a sec. And also I should mention, this is a list of words in American English, but it doesn't exactly hold true for British English because their accent is a little bit different. So you can look up a list as well. If you're interested in learning British English more than American English, you can totally Google this and find something that will work for you as well. But can anyone guess what this list is? Lists of words that have something in common. What do they have in common? No guesses?
They sound the same.
Yes, exactly. They sound the same even though they're spelled differently. So some really common ones that you guys have probably talked a little bit about before, or at least noticed yourself, are the words two, and two. So that would be somewhere down in the T section. I'll find it for us. Yeah, here we go. So we have the word two, and two. They all have different spellings and different meanings, but they're pronounced all the same. Another really common example of these kinds of words would be there, and there. Let's see. Okay, yeah. There, there. There's lots of theirs. Have you guys noticed some of these pairs before in English? How about Anna? Have you ever seen some of these words that are spelled differently but pronounced the same?
In Spanish, yes. In English, no.
Ah, interesting. So they exist in Spanish too. That's good. It'll be a familiar topic at least. Harry, have you noticed these words before in English or in German?
Yes, I have noticed it, but I think it's not such difficult when I have the whole sentence. When I have the meaning of it, what they are saying, I can learn it. I can make, yeah.
Yeah.
I see what they are meaning, so I can remember how I have to speak the words, but I have to know that when I see the list and I can remember the words and I can compare it with each other, and it's in my mind. It's very good because I can always see, take a look, it's spelled like this, so I have to speak it the same, but there is another word who looks the same. I know all the words, and it's easier when I know the words. When I only know one word, it's harder. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to learn it by heart, this list, so I can.
Yeah, that is the problem, is a lot of these do have to be memorized to learn by heart. But context clues can help, like you mentioned. And Rafael, have you noticed any of these words in English or in Portuguese? All right, maybe Rafael is busy. Jesus, how about you? Have you
Uh,
noticed any of these words before?
yeah, I agree with Hannah. In Spain, we have tons of them. But
Good.
I have one question, teacher.
Yeah, go ahead.
Between between they and there, there's no difference in the when you add an s after theirs or what?
You mean, which one do you mean? The one that I
Uh,
had highlighted before?
yeah,
Theirs and theirs?
the ones with there.
Okay, so that would be like THEIRS and THERE apostrophe S.
Yeah,
No difference in pronunciation. It's theirs, like the coin is theirs, or there's the coin. The order is reversed, so you can tell between the part of the word, but the pronunciation is the same.
but when it's without s, it's there without the s.
Both of them are there without the S.
Okay, okay,
So it's their coin or there is a coin.
okay. Thank you.
So we have run out of time, unfortunately, but thank you guys for coming and sharing your thoughts today. I have, I think, 3 more classes coming up later, so I hope to see you guys again.
Okay,
Goodbye.
thank you.
See
Bye.
ya!
Bye bye. Thank you.